Let's go and take a look at the team news going into the game.
Yeah, so Udogie should be fit for this game, but he's not sure if he's going to be fit enough to start. In terms of the injuries, obviously Solanke we know is ruled out for at least a few weeks with a hamstring injury. Xavi Simons now ruled out for the rest of the season. Vicario is still unavailable due to the hernia operation. Pape Sarr, I didn't mention Sarr, which probably is a bad thing, and he wasn't seen in training, so we're going to assume he is still out. Obviously, we know Romero, Odobert, Davis, Kudus, and Kulusevski all probably out for the season. And then Maddison is in the squad, not injured, unlikely to feature, but is getting closer to match minutes.
So 10 players out, well, 9.5 I would say, because there's all that chance that Maddison might, but probably won't. But let's get into the lineup. We're going to go 4-3-2-1 as per usual.
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1 as per usual. And in goal will be Antonin Kinski, done very well since stepping in. I envisage potentially he could have a bit of a busier day in this game than he has done in the previous 3 games. But he's earned his spot. Even though Vicario's injured, he's earned it. Even if Vicario's back, I would probably say persist with Kinski.
Yeah, last year I remember in the FA Cup at Villa Park he made a howler. But then if I remember rightly, I think did he not also play in the game we lost in the league and then actually had a decent game in that game?
In that game when we lost to Villa in the FA Cup, he made a howler to concede a goal, but actually he saved us a lot that game as well. He made save after save after save. So
did he play the game in the league as well? I think he also played in the league.
Potentially, I'm not sure.
And then I actually think in that game he played quite well. I don't know if my memory is avoiding me. Anyway, I think we're all a bit more comfortable now with Kinski, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
After what was, he did play, and he did play well. Made quite a number of saves. He just impacts 5
the game.
Saves he made.
Yeah, and how many did he make in the FA Cup game? So I remember he made a hell of a lot of saves in the FA Cup game as well, even though he did make a howler on the day. Like I remember coming away thinking, wow, Kinski, as much as he was crap in the opening 20 minutes, I thought he did really well after that.
Oh, it's the wrong game. He also. I remember. You're right. He actually did really well in that game as well. But I think after there was, here we go. Yeah, he made 5 saves as well in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think let's hope he continues his good form and continues building his confidence.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
So go Kinski in goal, right back Pedro Porro, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I want to see more from him on the ball. We know he's capable of it. I think his crossing and his passing, look, he's been up and down, I would say, over the past 3 games. But if anyone in that back line is really going to penetrate and help with the build-up, it's going to be him.
I feel like as well the way Villa play, with that kind of very narrow pitch, but with a high line, very congested. I think those little dinks from Porro is going to be super important. You see it, he always looks for it, doesn't he? He always looks up and looks those little dinks in behind.
When we won 4-0 there, wasn't he really important in that game? Didn't he get an assist or a pre-assist or something with doing that? I can't remember, but I remember something vaguely.
I think usually Romero is quite important in those games because he has that little dink over the top he's really good at. But I think Porro is going to have to use that ability, that passing ability, to try and get us in behind as much as possible. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if you see Porro continually trying to play those balls over the top, like he has been doing a lot.
Right centre back Kevin Danso. Look, I think Danso's been all right since coming in for Romero. Obviously, the end of the Brighton game let him down massively, let the team down massively. And if my
Kinski did bail him out.
Yeah, Kinski bailed him out last game as well. But if I remember rightly, if my memory serves, he was the one that gave away the foul for the free kick.
Might have done, yeah.
For the because that was a needless foul to give away at that stage of the game as well. So there were some iffy moments in there from Danso, but I think by and large, apart from those little big moments, I think he's been all right.
Yeah, I think he's been pretty good at what he's good at, which is clearing the ball away and using his big head to head things away. So just needs to keep doing that, I guess. Yeah.
Mickey van der Ven, obviously, at left centre-back. He's going to be captain on the day. And I think he's been a lot better since Roberto De Zerbi has come in. Maybe he's found a manager that he can actually believe in and get behind. And I can see his attitude has definitely got a lot better, and that's kind of being shown in his performances as well.
100%. I think he's definitely taking more responsibility. He's definitely leading a lot better than he was. He was definitely in a bit of a funk, in like January, February time, March time, getting sent off and all that. But since Zerbi's come in, he's got his head screwed on again. And let's just hope. Yeah, let's just hope he takes it into this game. Could he go on one of his mazy runs with Villa's high line, catch him out?
Let's do it, mate.
Come
Let's
on.
get Mickey van der Ven on the afterburners. Left back is interesting because he's spoken about a doggy maybe being fit enough to start, maybe not. Seeing him at some point in the game. Is he going to start or is he going to go with Jed Spence?
I've got a feeling it will be a doggy, I've got a
Just
feeling
because
it
of those
will.
Bentacle comments.
Not necessarily. I think, first of all, that, but also because I think he's very important. And I think if we can have him on for about an hour, and then maybe Spence can come on after that, I think that's probably a better situation. I think he's gonna start him.
All right, let's go for
That's
a
my
doggy.
feeling.
I want him to start, so I'm happy to have him in that back line. So that's the back line. Porro, Danso, Van der Ven, and Destiny Udogie. In the midfield, the first name on the team sheet has got to be Rodrigo Bentancur. Been a breath of fresh air since coming into the team. Adds that composure, that calmness that we've been missing so much. And he's able to pass it, and I think he's been controlling games.
And hopefully he can lay one into Matty Cash, because I think Cash has it coming when it comes to Bentancur. I think he's going to be super, super important, because if we are theorising he might have a rested midfield, I think dominating that midfield battle is going to be super, super crucial in this game. And having someone like Bentancur on top of his game and being able to, on the ball, spin out of trouble, play the ball in behind, dominate physically as well. I think he could do that with the players that we're feeling Villa might play. So I think he could be absolutely crucial in this game.
And alongside Bentancur, it's actually a decision to make for Roberto De Zerbi, because Bissouma has been his tried and tested over the last couple of games, but Paulinho came in, made the biggest impact of them all, scoring from the set piece. We won 1-0, and he's actually our top scoring midfielder in the league this season.
He is, amazingly.
So, which way do you think he's going to go? I mean, I've been saying all week that I want to see Paulinho, but I got a feeling he's going to go with Bissouma.
Obviously, Sarr's out, so he's not an option. The other two would be Bergvall or Gray, but I don't think he's going to play either of them, actually. I do think it's a straight shootout between Paulinho and Bissouma. I personally want Bissouma, but I was listening to his press conference and he was rattling off names of, he was like talking about, we were talking about the injuries that we have, and then he was saying, let's not think about that. Let's think of the players we do have. We have this one without that one. And then he was talking about, and he said Porro, Van der Ven, Udogie, Bentancur. Then he said Paulinho, and then Gallagher, and Moani and Richarlison. He didn't say Bissouma. So then I'm thinking, okay, is that subconscious? He's rattling those names because he knows he's going to start Paulinho. But then he did do that again, and then he did say Bissouma. So I was like, maybe it will be Bissouma. Obviously, I'm trying to read into what he's saying subconsciously. You got to try and do that when you're listening to press conferences. But you mentioned Paulinho first before you said Bissouma. I personally want him to play Bissouma, and I think the super sub role of Paulinho is something that's working. So, and I think the double pivot Bissouma and Bentancur is largely working at the moment, so I wouldn't want to mess with it. But I also understand the call for Paulinho, because he does have stuff that Bissouma doesn't give, which could be good. I think we'd have more control of the game if we played Bissouma, put it that way.
I think he will go with Bissouma. I think the midfield has been okay in the last 2-3 games. I don't think Bissouma's actually playing that well at this moment in time, but I do think Bentancur and Bissouma do have a good relationship. So
I think it gives us better balance.
I think he's going to stick with it. And, we all remember when Bentancur and Paulinho were together first half of the season, we were like, they can never play together ever again. But De Zerbi's it's something fresh and new. But, yeah, I do think he's going to stick with these two. I'd prefer to see Paulinho, though.
I think it gives us better balance. I think it gives us more control on the ball, for sure, with those two. And I think if need be, you bring on the steel and the grit of Paulinho late in the game, if especially he's a threat from set pieces. I think starting the game with Bissouma makes more sense to me.
Fair enough. Who would you prefer to see, though? Would you prefer to see Bissouma or Paulinho start this game? I do feel in the 10 he's going to persist with Conor Gallagher. I think with Conor, I think his endeavour off the ball And what he gives us off the ball has definitely improved since De Zerbi has come in. I think no one can question that. But I think what he gives us on the ball has just been much of the same, to be honest, since pre-De Zerbi and post-De Zerbi. So I want to see more of Conor Gallagher on the ball. I want to see him being more of a goal threat. I want to see him making those late runs into the box. But off the ball, I don't think we can fault him right now.
Yeah, he's working his socks off. We know that. Absolutely massive hard worker. But 100%, he was known before he came as a player who can make the difference in the final third, who can make those late runs in the box, who can get on the end of things, crosses and stuff. We just haven't seen that anywhere near enough. I think there have been glimpses of it. I thought in the Brighton game a few times he was getting in the box and trying things, but just didn't come off quite. He had a couple of shots blocked and stuff and didn't quite make the right decisions. So I thought he was getting in better positions than against Wolves. We just didn't see it at all. So
in this game, there'll be more of opportunity for it.
I think so.
Because against Sunderland and against Wolves, they're very much low block defensive first teams, whereas Brighton and Villa are like high line teams.
Exactly. So hopefully he can take the chances that come to him in this one.
Now we move on to the forward line. And this is the $1 million question. Who is going to start in this forward line?
I think it's pretty simple.
To be honest, it probably is pretty simple because we've only got three fit forwards.
I think if we're judging by what De Zerbi's saying, then I think it's obvious.
De Zerbi might not mean what he says. He might, be throwing in something there and play something else.
He's not. He never said he's going to play them, but I think you can read into what he's saying that he is going to play them.
Yeah,
and that three would be Moani, Richarlison, and Tell. That's what I think.
I think those three will play, but just because he mentions them doesn't mean they're definitely going to start and definitely going to play.
It doesn't, but I think if you look, you try and do. Obviously, we watch these press conferences and you try your best to read into what is being said, and that's what I read into it. That he's going to play them.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to try and do that, but
of course,
there are different ways he can play it. Is he going to go Moani up top, Richarlison on the left, Tell on the right? Is he going to go Tell off the left, Moani off the right, and Richarlison up top? That's probably the most likely scenario, with Richarlison up top, Moani on the right, and Tell on the left. I mean, Moani has been horrific on the right-hand side. He really has. Richarlison, he hasn't been great in recent weeks either. Tell, very up and down as well. So, I mean, out of those three players, who's going to be the one to deliver for us?
In a weird way, this kind of game might call for Moani up front, just because he's got the most pace out of all those three, and he's the most likely to get in behind. But I do think a front three of Tell on the left, Moani on the right, and Richarlison up front probably gives us the best balance. I think putting Moani up front, I don't like what it does to the other two, because it probably means you have to play Tell on the right, and because you have to play Richarlison on the left, and I think it almost nullifies the wings a bit too much. Whereas I think if you've got Tell on the left, Moani on the right, you've got a bit more balance there with Richarlison up front. So I do think he's probably going to go that way, in my opinion. I mean, it could be, because all three of them are pretty versatile in theory. They can all play in all three positions. Well, apart from maybe Richarlison playing on the right, all three of them can play in all the positions. So it could be a kind of anything, really. But I think the best balance is Moani on the right, Tell on the left, and Rishi up front. That's my thinking.
I do think he's going to go that way. I think out of those three, what would I prefer to see? I'm not sure. I think it's such a hard one because none of them are playing well right now, really. Like we can praise Tell's endeavour and his work rate, but he's not getting goal contributions, which is the main thing right now. None of these guys are getting goal. I mean, Richarlison got an assist on the weekend against Wolves, fair enough, but I don't know. I do think he's going to go this way. If it was up to me, I wouldn't start Moani. I'll put Bergvall in there somewhere, and get him just pressing the shit out of Ezri Konsa, whoever it would be, at centre back. And you saw how vital that was when Bergvall came off the bench against Brighton, and he was able to nick the ball off Van Hecker. If anyone is going to provide a magic moment for us, like Javi did against Brighton, it's probably going to be Matisse Tell. Mm-hmm. I do believe that, because I know Richarlison works his socks off and he can get into those poacher positions, but in terms of cutting inside and trying to take a shot like that, I think Tell's the only one capable of it.
Just trying things,
Yeah.
and putting himself in a position to try things, because he's actually been quite. I've noticed definitely since this season, I think, compared to last season, he's a lot better at keeping the ball and actually creating scenarios where he's in positions to get shots or crosses and whatever. I thought last season he was losing the ball way too easily, even at periods at the beginning of this season as well. He was quite weak on the ball. He wasn't shielding it well. I think he's actually massively improved in that. Now, obviously, the next stage is being really effective when he gets in those positions, when he gets the chance to shoot.
Doesn't have long to do it in.
Obviously, but I'm saying his development as a player. That's the next stage for him. But I think he's been a lot better at like creating scenarios for himself and his dribbling ability and holding players off. So I think if anything is going to happen, and if anything's any special moment, it probably will come from him. And we just got to keep feeding him the ball, I feel, and hopefully take cash on and cause problems.
Yeah. So that is our lineup, our predicted lineup. Let us know yours in the comment section below. But we are going for Antonin Kinski in goal, Pedro Porro right back, Destiny Udogie left back, a back two of Danso and Mickey van der Ven, Bentancur, Bissouma and Conor Gallagher in midfield, Randall Kolo Muani on the right, Matisse Tell on the left, and Richarlison up top. So let us know your predicted in the comment section below. Let us know your score lines in the comment section below, and come and join Sim on the watch along Sunday 6:45. He'll be going live, and I'll be bringing you all the content from inside Villa Park on what is going to be a nervy night. We've got a couple of